because of this, what we have done is like we are extending our assembly so that it's kind of more like kids oriented, so it would benefit all our kids and Gurukulam teachers, parents and everybody who are here, all the patrons at the temple. So I request our assembly will continue until this talk is over, like once we go through this program. I request Madhu Rao Garu like to please come and introduce the Guruji and welcome him to us.
Thank you, Srinivas. Srinivas, thank you so much. Hari Om Krishnaya Vasudevaya Devaki Nandanaya Nanda Gopa Kumaraya Govindaya Namo Namaha. Dr. Arumalige Parthasarathy is a living legend who has done yeoman service to the Haribhaktas all over the world. He is a renowned Vedic scholar and a retired professor of management from MES College in Bangalore and a guest faculty member of numerous institutions in the world, like the International School of Business Research, Institute of Business Management, and MS Ramaya College of Management Studies in Bangalore. His works include 52 books, 35 CDs, and scriptures on Das Sahitya, Bhagavata, Bhagavad Gita, Vishnu Sahasranama, Indian heritage, Indian culture, and Indian values. He has delivered more than 4,000 lectures in different continents and different countries and continents. His book, written in English, Vishnu Sahasranama, is considered as one of the best books in English ever written, which has been released in 14 different countries. His Vishnu Sahasranama Chakra movement has become very popular in the different countries as well as improving the Bhagavata awareness across America and Canada. His first visit to USA was in 1995 and since then he has returned 6 times to Northern America and Canada, delivering more than 1,000 lectures in different states across the countries. He has visited Europe 3 times and been to Australia and New Zealand and made several visits to Gulf countries, spreading the Hindu Dharma, Hindu philosophy. Indian Historians is a 582-page book which documents one full chapter on Dr. Parthasarathy, recognizing him as one among the top 150 historians of contemporary India. He has published a book of 10,000 songs, a monumental work in collecting and saving many Haridasa compositions that were fast disappearing. This has earned him the gratitude of all the people who are interested in the spiritual poetry of Haridasas. In 1999, Dr. Parthasarathy received Rajyotsava Award from Karnataka government. Several institutions have recognized the lifetime achievements of an extraordinary kind by Dr. Arumalige Parthasarathy and crowned him the title of Haridasa Seva Chakravarti. New York Kannada Kuta, thank you. New York Kannada Kuta conferred him the Das Sahitya Pradyumna title. Sydney Kannada Kuta, for example, has given him Das Sahitya Sarvabhauma with the title and Ankita of Parthasarathy Vithala. Our sir has written more than 500 songs on the Lord, Ugabaugalu and Suladigalu. We are very, very fortunate to have Dr. Parthasarathy in Austin, Texas, to be present in this temple premises today. He is about to address little children, youth, elderly, and create an air of spiritual vibrations this morning, and learn all about the significance about Vishnu Sahasranama and the 24 Gurus. On behalf of Austin Hindu Temple, on behalf of this community of Gurukulam and the little children, on behalf of Vishwamadhva Sangha, Texas and Austin chapters, I welcome the one and only Dr. Parthasarathy.
आपादमूलपर्यन्तं गुरूणाम् आकृतिं स्मरेत् तेन विघ्नाः प्रणश्यन्ति सिद्ध्यन्ति च मनोरथाः। प्रविश्य मम वाचं मां प्रसुप्तां सञ्जीवयत्यखिल शक्तिधरस्वधाम्ना अन्याञ्च हस्तचरणश्रवणत्वगादीन् प्राणान् नमो भगवते पुरुषाय तुभ्यम्। First of all, let me prostrate at the feet of the Lord here. Also my namaskarams to all the gods, goddesses and all the maharshis. And let me congratulate the President, the Vice President, the Secretary and the entire Executive Committee members of the temple for actually organizing such a fantastic program like Gurukula. The very concept of Gurukula is something extraordinary. And that concept is exclusively the contribution of the Hindu thought, and particularly the grooming of the children, the culturing of the children through the Gurukula system was the entire the way of life in India for a long time. And I congratulate all the organizers for continuing that system and that scheme and that stream of Gurukula in Austin. And now I am going to speak about Vishnu Sahasranama. And I must thank the Vishnu Madhu Sangha chapter of Austin and the temple authorities, particularly Madhusudan and Rampriya, Srinivas and all others who are responsible for organizing this program. My special liking is for the children. My special love is for the children. That is not my statement, that is a statement of Lord Krishna in Srimad Bhagavata. In the 11th chapter, Lord Krishna tells to his close friend Uddhava, Uddhava, you have to learn from one great teacher. Uddhava says, who is that great teacher? Please enlighten me. Then Krishna says, that great teacher is a child. Uddhava immediately says, what is it I can learn from the child? A child has no experience. A child has no maturity. A child has no wisdom. A child has no knowledge. A child has no expertise. A child has no exposure. A child has no experience. What is that I can learn from the child? Krishna says, this is what you have to learn from the child. What is that? You, the elderly people, you think that you know everything, you have all the knowledge, and they don't know. But Krishna says, understand one thing, children, they don't know that they don't know. Children, they don't know, but they know that they don't know. Children, they don't know, but they know that they don't know. Elders, they don't know, and they don't know that they don't know. So Krishna says, it is correct, children, they don't know, but they know that they don't know. Because they don't know, they try to learn and they will learn. Elders, they don't know that they don't know. Because they don't know that they don't know, they will not learn at all. They will never learn. And Krishna tells to Uddhava, one of his close friends, you have to learn another thing from the child. What is that? A child smiles naturally. A child smiles naturally. That is why children are beautiful, children are natural, children are attractive, children are lovable. Everybody likes children. elderly people, they smile not naturally. And for children, every child is inquisitive, positive. Inquisitive, positive, he tries to learn. So, Vishnu Sahasranama is the stotra which actually enriches the mind of every child. It gives the power of concentration to every child. Vishnu Sahasranama gives the focus for every child. Those who want the memory, or all those children who are interested in having the strong memory, learn Vishnu Sahasranama, chant Vishnu Sahasranama, your power of memory enhances, your concentration increases, your wisdom increases, your pronunciation ability increases, your tongue power increases, your communication effectiveness increases, your reflexes increases, and Vishnu Sahasranama Stotra has got a built-in system wherein within the body, the entire nervous system will be processed, cleansed, and a very chanting of Vishnu Sahasranama creates a very healthy body, a very healthy mind, a wonderful mind, a sharp mind, a smart mind, a bright mind, a brilliant mind, an intelligent mind, an intellectual mind, a thoughtful mind, a positive mind, wonderful mindset is created by Vishnu Sahasranama. The reason is when you go on chanting the Vishnu Sahasranama, automatically the tongue effectiveness improves, the pronunciation improves, and you are concentrating on the very next word, the power of concentration increases. And among all these stotras, Vishnu Sahasranama is very powerful because it is not composed or conceived in Kali Yuga, it is composed and conceived in Dwapara Yuga. It is the gift of Dwapara to the people of Kali Yuga. In Dwapara Yuga, when Sakshat Lord Krishna was there, in front of Lord Krishna, Vedavyasa has composed this. Who is Vedavyasa? Vedavyasa was the greatest Rishi who is an avatar of Lord Sriman Narayana or Vishnu. He has classified the Vedas, codified the Vedas, categorized the Vedas, catalogued the Vedas, indexed the Vedas, made it understandable, made it assimilable, made it readable, made it reachable, made it accessible to everybody. And that Vedavyasa who has given the wonderful Vedas to the entire world, it is he who has written Vishnu Sahasranama. Upanishad, it is the ultimate enlightenment and ultimate philosophy of India. Schopenhauer, the world's greatest German philosopher, he says, the solace in my life is the Upanishads of India. Solace in my death will be Upanishads of India. That is the greatness of Upanishads, and that enlightening, that electrifying knowledge cream, the fulcrum of the ultimate spiritual knowledge called as Upanishad, that is the contribution of Vedavyasa. If there is one human brain in the entire universe, in the entire history of the humankind, which could conceive, compose, write and contribute a great work like Mahabharata, that was the prime of Vedavyasa. It was that Vedavyasa who has given Mahabharata, he has given Vishnu Sahasranama. There is one dialogue between two people. There is one dialogue between two people, and that dialogue has been translated into more than 1,000 languages of the world. One dialogue between two people has been translated into 1,000 languages of the world, has been read by teeming millions and millions and millions and millions and billions of people, and the dialogue is the dialogue between Krishna and Arjuna. It is called Bhagavad Gita, and this Bhagavad Gita is written by Vedavyasa, and that Vedavyasa has written Vishnu Sahasranama. And in India, the greatest epics are the Puranas. 18 Puranas are written and composed by Vedavyasa, and it is that Vedavyasa who has given 18 Puranas. He has given Vishnu Sahasranama. Srimad Bhagavata is one of the ultimate, the peak epics of the whole world. And if there is the Sannidhana, if there is Sanidhya, if there is the grace, if there is the presence of the God, Lord Sri Krishna, in any book, in the entire Kali Yuga, in the entire universe, it's only in one book. His grace, His presence, His appearance is there. That is Srimad Bhagavata. And that Bhagavata has been composed, written, contributed, given by Vedavyasa to this world. It is that Vedavyasa who has given Vishnu Sahasranama. So Vishnu Sahasranama is not ordinary, it is extraordinary, exceptionally great, highly significant, equivalent to Bhagavad Gita, equivalent to Bhagavata, equivalent to Vedic scriptures, and ultimately when the Vedavyasa gives this, all the rishis in the Dwapara Yuga for performing tapasya, what was the type of mantra they were using? Bhishmacharya tells to Dharmaraja, Rushibhi Parigitani, Yani Namani Gaudani, Rushibhi Parigitani means Dharmaraja asked a question, is it for the first time that you are narrating, you are telling me the Vishnu Sahasranama, or is there any earlier precedence, somebody is telling much earlier to you? Then Bhishmacharya said, yes. This happens, this dialogue happens in the fag end of Dwapara Yuga, and at that point, Bhishma says, Rushibhi Parigitani, much earlier to me, many Rishis, Maharshis, Brahmarshis, Rajarshis, Tapasvis, in the forest, while performing tapasya, they were chanting, reciting Vishnu Sahasranama as their tapo mantra. So Vishnu Sahasranama is not the mantra of the modern writers. Vishnu Sahasranama is not the stotra that is written by the modern writers of these times, these years, or this yuga. It is the contribution of Dwapara Yuga. It is composed by Vedavyasa. It has been projected and presented for the first time by Bhishmacharya, and the first person who has received that was Dharmaraja, and the whole lineage you can understand the greatness and the significance and the grandeur and the sanctity and the purity and the extraordinary significance that is attached to that. Vedavyasa writes it, Bhishmacharya tells it, in front of Krishna he tells it to Dharmaraja, who listens. Parashurama listens to that, Angirasa listens to that, Atri Rishi listens to that, Vishwamitra listens to that, Vasishtha listens to that. All the great Rishis are listening to Vishnu Sahasranama, and they have sanctified the Vishnu Sahasranama. They have actually blessed all the children who are going to chant the Vishnu Sahasranama. So, when you chant the Vishnu Sahasranama, it is not the verb, it is not the word, it is not the sound, it is not the sound wave, it is not the sound current, it is the blessing of these rishis that is actually built in the very system of Vishnu Sahasranama. That is one of the reason why Vishnu Sahasranama has been chanted for not years, not decades, not centuries, for yugas or billions of people. It has been chanted continuously. Shankaracharya 1600 years ago has made it absolutely very clear. You human beings, when you came here, you came empty-handed. Today you have all these things. God has given everything to you. In return, what is it you have given back to the God? What is it you have given back to the God? We have not given anything. He says, you cannot give lollipop to the God, you cannot give ice cream to the God, you cannot give candy to the God. Then what is that you can give to the God? Then Shankaracharya says, as a human being, for having taken everything from the God, you have to give back to them. What is that? Geyam Gita Nama Sahasram. Geyam Gita Nama Sahasram. Bhajagovindam, 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 Mudamate. You have to give back essentially two things. Learn Bhagavad Gita, learn Vishnu Sahasranama, chant Bhagavad Gita, recite Vishnu Sahasranama, submit Vishnu Sahasranama at the feet of the Lord. Go on chanting Vishnu Sahasranama. Tell the Vishnu Sahasranama. Recite the Vishnu Sahasranama. See the difference. There will be a sea of difference in your mind, in your thought, in your future, in your development, in your family, and in your progress. It has been felt and experienced by millions of people all across the world. And Ramanujacharya 1000 years ago has declared, my heart beats for Vishnu Sahasranama. All the system inside are functioning because of Vishnu Sahasranama. I am breathing Vishnu Sahasranama. I am living because of Vishnu Sahasranama. So if anybody is giving any Guru Karnike to me, Guru Dakshina to me, please write a commentary on Vishnu Sahasranama and submit it to me. So his ardent disciple Parashara Bhatta, who have been molded by wonderful Ramanujacharya through that samskara, one ordinary child just after the birth was handed over to Ramanujacharya. Within 18 years, Ramanujacharya was able to shape him, mold him, groom him like a great Rishi, and we called him Parashara. Ramanuja proves to the whole world, if a child is taken, if it is given right samskar at the right time, within 18 years, you can bring a wonderful Maharshi out of that small child. And that Maharshi, he says, I want to give Guru Karnike to you. Ramanuja says, in the entire world, there is nothing greater than Vishnu Sahasranama. Write commentary for that, submit it to me. That is the best Guru Karnike. Madhvacharya says, Trayortha sarva vedesho, dashartha sarva bharate, Vishnu Sahasranamape, nirantara shatarthakam. All the Vedic information has got 3 meanings. Entire Mahabharata episodes, incidents, paragraphs will be having 10 meanings. In Vishnu Sahasranama, every name will be having 100 qualities, attributes or gunas of the Lord. That is to say, every name of the Lord in Vishnu Sahasranama has got 100 meanings, and each meaning is an adjective or a quality or attribute praising the Lord, and that adjective or quality or attribute of the Lord is equal to Nama. So Madhvacharya says, when a person chants Vishnu Sahasranama, even though he is chanting 1000 names of the Lord, because each name contains 100 attributes or the qualities of the Lord, and attribute or quality or guna is equal to Nama, Madhvacharya says, anybody who will be chanting Vishnu Sahasranama is not merely securing the punya phala of chanting 1000 names of the Lord, he will be securing the punya phala of chanting 1,00,000 names of the Lord. If you chant 1,00,000 names, whatever punya you are going to get, that punya you will secure if you chant once Vishnu Sahasranama, because each name in Vishnu Sahasranama contains 100 names, 100 gunas, 100 meanings of the Lord. And Charaka Samhita, Charaka was the ancient surgeon of India, Sushruta was the ancient doctor and surgeon of India, and these Charaka and Sushruta, whatever they have written, entire constitution, entire treaties have been actually translated by the Egyptian scholars of those times in Egypt, and European scholars who were frequently visiting Egypt, they translated the entire Charaka Samhita, Sushruta Samhita into European languages. And whatever Yajna Kunda Rachana Shastra that was there in India, that is by performing Rajasuya Yaga, Ashwamedha Yaga, Vajpayee Yaga, Havana, homes, Yajna Kunda was being constructed in India. Even in the temples you must be seeing that. It will be square, it will be rectangle, it will be circular, it will be in different forms. And Pythagoras and all his disciples from Europe who came to Egypt, they were surprised to see that in Egypt, entire Indian Yajna-kunda Rachana Shastra was translated into Egyptian language, which Pythagoras actually converted that into the Greek language and European languages. They called it geometry, and he acknowledges entire concept of geometry. The credit goes to India. And one father-daughter was there in India. Father-daughter was there in India. Their name was Bhaskaracharya and Lilavati. Bhaskaracharya, Lilavati, they composed a Sanskrit poetry, and the poetry was full of mathematics, and it was read by Egyptian scholars. They thought it's amazing science of mathematics in the form of the Sanskrit poetry. It was translated into the Egyptian language, Arab language. They called it Alzabar. Bhaskaracharya, Lilavati as the original authors of that poetry, and it was translated into Egypt. They called it Alzabar, and European scholars came to Egypt. They translated it. They called it algebra. Charaka and Sushruta, ancient surgeons and doctors of India, much before the advent of the Western medicine, all types of surgeries these two were doing. And Charaka says, for ordinary diseases like cold, cough, fever, etc., as a doctor, I can give prescription, I can give medicine. But if the disease is dreadful disease, dangerous disease, extraordinary disease, and fatal disease, then I cannot give any medicine. I give one prescription, ultimate prescription. What is that? He says, Vishnu Sahasra Namapi Jvaran Sarvan Vyapohati. Chant Vishnu Sahasranama, entire all your jvara, prajvara, disease, all types of the problems, physical problems, the depression, oppression, suppression, and physical discomfort, disease, everything, the raga, the roga, the adi, the vyadi, the jara, the prajvara, everything will disappear if you go on chanting the Vishnu Sahasranama. Then how it happens? By chanting the Vishnu Sahasranama, how it is possible to remove the disease from the body? 800 years ago, Madhvacharya explained how when a child, when a youngster, when a student, when an elderly person chants Vishnu Sahasranama, how the entire disease will be taken out from the body is explained in detail by Madhvacharya 800 years ago. What is that? Where from this Vishnu Sahasranama has come? Madhvacharya says, Vishnu Sahasranama, the origin of that is in Rigveda. In the Vedic times, the Vedic priests, the Rutviks and the Yagniks were performing a vrata called as Mahavrata. This Mahavrata, they were performing from the sunrise to sunset for the whole day. And during that entire day, for the chanting of the mantras, which are the mantras they were actually calling out, they were selecting 12,000 riks from Rigveda. 12,000 riks from Rigveda were selected to chant from sunrise to sunset during this Mahavrata Yagna. And the entire Yagna was classified into 3 types. First one, Prataha, morning session. Second one, Madhyandina, noon session. Evening, Sayam, evening session. So in the center, in the Madhyandina, just before the noon, 1 hour earlier to the noon, from 11 to 12, before the offering of the Purnahuti, the priests, Yagniks, Rutviks were chanting 1,000 riks, shlokas from Rigveda, and each rik contained one name of the Lord Vishnu. And those 1,000 names of the Lord culled out from Rigveda, all the Rutviks and Vaidiks and the Yagniks and the priests were chanting, closing their eyes and showing their hands towards the sky, invoking the God, inviting the Lord, welcoming the Lord, requesting the Lord, appealing the Lord, please come and appear and bless us. So after chanting 1,000 names of the Lord, during that 1 hour between 11 and 12 o'clock earlier to the noon, they were actually pouring the Purnahuti. After pouring the Purnahuti and after chanting these 1,000 names of the Lord, all of them were closing their eyes, and suddenly there was a type of explosion, a light and extraordinary glow, a radiance and a vibrance and a fantastic electrifying impact from the Yagnakunda, and suddenly something was emerging out of Yagnakunda. All of them were opening their eyes and they were seeing what they were seeing. Vanamali, Gadi, Shangi, Shanki, Chakri, Chanandaki, Sriman Narayan or Vishnu Vasudevo Virakshatu. Vanamali, Gadi, Shangi, Shanki, Chakri, Chanandaki, Sriman Narayan or Vishnu Vasudevo Virakshatu. Vanamali, Gadi, Shangi, Shanki, Chakri, reach. And andake Sriman Narayana or Vishnu Vasudeva Virakshito, they were virtually, practically, physically, directly seeing the Lord's presence there. And that was the power of Vishnu Sahasranama. That was the power of 1000 names of the Lord. So these 1000 names of the Lord were culled out from Rigveda, and these 1000 flowers of the names were actually, they made it a garland and they called it Bruhati Sahasra. Sahasra means 1000. Bruhati is the meter. Meter means Chandas. What is the characteristic of that Bruhati Chandas? The Gayatri is not the mantra. Gayatri mantra contains a Chandas. The name of the Chandas is Gayatri. The characteristic is 24 letters. Anustup is another Chanda. Characteristic is 32 letters. Bruhati is another Chandas. Characteristic is 36 letters in every shloka. And 1000 names of the Lord, and each contains 36 letters. Each letter contains one vowel and one consonant. 36 vowels and 36 consonants. It will be totally 72 into 1000 names. 72 into 1000, 72,000 vibrations will emerge from the tongue, from the mouth, from the body, who is going to chant 1000 names of the Lord. Anybody who will be chanting 1000 names of the Lord, Vishnu Sahasranama, Sahasra means 1000, Nama means names of the Lord Vishnu. So anybody who will be chanting 1000 names of Lord Vishnu, Vishnu Sahasranama, will be releasing or from his tongue, from his mouth, from his body, 72,000 vibrations, sound waves, sound currents will emerge. These 72,000 sound waves are not emerging or starting only on the tongue. When I am speaking here, from different parts of my body, the sound will start. Sound will, it will have the birth in different parts of the body. It will travel through the different nervous systems. It will travel from different parts of the body. It will come onto the tongue. On tongue it gets expression. And even when I am talking here, it is a wave or it is not a sound. It is a sound wave, sound current, and this wave moves here. If people are sitting here and the people sitting here has got ear, and ear got ear, if the ear has got eardrum, and when the wave, sound current, sound wave hits the eardrum of the ear of the person sitting here, it becomes sound. So 72,000 different vibrations which are started from different parts of the body while you are chanting the Vishnu Sahasranama will travel all across your body, will be processing and cleansing and cleaning the entire nervous system. How many nervous systems are there inside the body? Those who have studied the Patanjali Yoga Shastra, or those who have studied Harikathamrita Sara, Nadi Prakarana Sandhi, or those who have understood some system of nadis, every human being, whether male or female, will be having 72,000 nadis or the nervous or the artery system inside. 72,000 nadis will be there inside. Patanjali Yoga Shastra clearly explains it, and Harikathamrita Sara gives the detailed description of how these 72,000 nadis will be there in different parts. What is a nadi? A nadi means, for example, you are going in the street, you are not having the sandal, barefoot, suddenly one small glass piece, your smallest finger touches the small glass piece, the smallest finger of yours touches. Within the next fraction of second, from that smallest part of the small finger, immediately within the fraction of second, to the brain communication comes, here is a piece of glass, remove it. Remove it, that's the instruction. Instruction goes not to the finger of the feet, instruction goes to the finger of the hand. From here. So here, then the hand fingers will move towards the finger of the feet, and their instruction goes, go to that particular smallest finger only. It goes there, remove it. It searches, it removes that. Everything happens within fraction of second. And the whole thing is a communication system, an extraordinary intelligent communication system, which is full of the nervous system, the artery system, which we call as the Sukshmati Sukshma nadis. Most subtle, delicate nadis. And as long as these nadis are functioning, your communication will be wonderful. That is why I always tell to the children, chant Vishnu Sahasranama, recite Vishnu Sahasranama, tell Vishnu Sahasranama. See, you are going to become an effective communicator. Ultimately, in future, your success depends upon your ability to communicate effectively or not having that ability. And if you want to succeed in life, if you want to succeed in life, you want to exceed in life, you want to excel in life, you want to be effective in life, you want to be efficient in life, you want to be extraordinary in life, if you don't want to be ordinary, you want to be extraordinary, then chant Vishnu Sahasranama. Automatically, you get that effectiveness edge. Automatically, you become efficient. Automatically, nervous system will be activated. Automatically, the communication system will be improved upon. Automatically, pronunciation improves. Automatically, the reflex will improve. Much more than everything, wherever Vishnu Sahasranama is chanted, the Lord Vishnu, along with Lakshmi, along with the gods and the goddesses, will come and bless that child, that youngster, that student, that elder, that lady, that gentleman. Reason why? What is the speciality? I will tell the speciality now. Who has actually given this Vishnu Sahasranama and when? It was Bhishmacharya when he was actually laying on Sharapanjara at the end of the Mahabharata war, anticipating the arrival of Uttarayana, when Dharmaraja got so completely upset, when he was depressed, when he was deeply depressed, when he had a guilty mind. I have killed millions of people in the war, I don't want to be the king, I want to go to Vanavasa, and he did not like to become the king. At that time, Krishna brings Dharmaraja, Pandavas to Bhishmacharya, who was sleeping on Sharapanjara. Then Bhishmacharya tells to Dharmaraja, only those people who can create that, who can do the srushti, who can create, they can kill. You cannot kill anybody, you cannot do creation of anybody. It is the Lord who takes care of all those things. Forget about all that. You cannot cry. A king, a leader, a manager, a minister, a person who is in charge of many people has no right to weep. First stop it. Then he says, he will be telling about all the dharma, Deva dharma, Dana dharma, Raja dharma, Moksha dharma, Swarga dharma, Naraka dharma, Purusha dharma, Sri dharma. All the dharmas and all the Veda, Itihasa, Purana, everything for 54 days continuously and incessantly Dharmaraja. Ultimately Dharmaraja, please stop Tata, Tata please stop it, I cannot understand. Why? All these are the values and the virtues and the dharmas and the principles and the extraordinary affairs of Dwapara Yuga. And the Kali Yuga shades have come, shadows of Kali Yuga have come, and within just a few days Kali Yuga will come. In Kali Yuga, people will not be having that time. In Kali Yuga, people will not be having that patience. In Kali Yuga, people will not be having that extraordinary knowledge. So, for those people, all these Veda, Upanishad, Digama, Agama, Itihasa, Purana, Akhyana, Vyakhyana, they cannot understand at all. Have the mercy on the ordinary people of Kali Yuga. They have only 20 minutes time every day for your Daiva, Dharma, Adhyatma, spirituality, etc. So within 20 minutes, they must be able to tell. And within that 20 minutes, if they tell that, they must be able to get the grace, the blessing of the entire blessing of the Lord. As if you are chanting Veda, Upanishad, whatever blessing you have to get, all that blessing should come, but you must be able to chant only within 20 minutes. If there is one such thing, please give that. Then Bhishmacharya says, I can understand you. Your love for the ordinary people of Kali Yuga. Bhishma tells to Dharmaraja, your love for the children of Kali Yuga, the students of Kali Yuga, the youngsters of Kali Yuga, the kids of Kali Yuga, the senior citizens of Kali Yuga, the housewives of Kali Yuga, professionals of Kali Yuga, something immaculate and extraordinary. So, now I am going to give one mantra, one stotra, which is equivalent to all the Vedas, all the Upanishads, all the Bhashyas, entire Bharata, all the scriptures of the entire thing, which is equivalent to all these things. I am going to give that. And now Bhishma says, and before that, Dharmaraja asks another thing. You have explained 33,000 crores of God, 33,000 crores of God. Nobody in Kali Yuga will be able to remember 33,000 crore gods, or nobody can write a list of that. Please tell me one God, one supreme God, one ultimate God who can give us the blissful blessing so that we will be happy, comfortable, peaceful and completely safe in the Kali Yuga. Just one God. and you have given me so many dharma, Raja Dharma, Moksha Dharma, Swarga Dharma, Narka Dharma, Purusha Dharma, Sri Dharma. Who can remember, who can digest, who can practice? Give me one dharma. Kimekam Daivatam Loke Kim Vapyekam Parayanam Ko Dharma Sarva Dharmanam Bhota Paramo Mataha. You have given me so many stotras, so many shlokas, so many mantras, so many japas. Just tell me one stotra. By doing the japa of that one particular stotra, we will be able to get over all the difficulties, all the problems, all the tensions, all the turmoils, all the calamity, all the catastrophe. Every problem will be solved and sorted out easily and comfortably. Just one stotra. Please give that one stotra through which we will be able to get over from the control and the clutches of the cycle, the birth and death permanently. Please give us, which gives the help, which gives the health, which gives the happiness, which gives the peace of mind, and which brings the grace of the God. Give me that one mantra, one japa, hinjapan muchite jantur janma samsara bandhana. For all the questions, Bhishmacharya answers only one answer. He says, there is only one answer for all your questions. What is the answer? Jagat Prabhum, Devadevam, Anantam, Purushottamam, Stuvan Nama, Sahasrena, Purushas Samdotitaha. That Jagat Prabhu, that Devadeva, that Lord of the Lord, that great, extraordinary, blissful, celestial, the Lord, he is called Purusha, he is called Vishnu, and he has got 1,000 names. And if you chant 1,000 names of the Lord, which is there in the form of Vishnu Sahasranama, that person, that student, that kid, that child, that elderly person who chants Vishnu Sahasranama, he will be continuously on the roads of, on the track of, on the path of progress, prosperity, plenty, profit, peace, health, happiness, and extraordinary the grace and the blessings of the Lord. These are the benefits that is going to be accrued for every child, every kid who is going to chant Vishnu Sahasranama. So when you are chanting Vishnu Sahasranama, 72,000 vibrations will emerge, and they will be cleaning and clearing and processing the 72,000 nervous and artery systems which are there inside. And every day if you chant, every day cleaning of the nervous system. What is the benefit? What is the benefit? The benefit is like this. In a month, 30 days will be there. In a year, 12 months will be there. In a year, how many days it happens? In a month, 30 days. In a year, 12 months. In a year, how many days? 360 days, correct. 360 days. 1 month, 30 days. 1 month. One average. We should take average, not February. February is only 28 days. Not February. And an average it is 30 days a month. And an average it is 12 months in a year. 12 into 3, 360 days. Plus 360 nights. 360 days and 360 nights is equal to 720 days and nights. That makes one year. Average lifespan of an individual, a human being, is 100 years. Average. Maybe 110 some people, 80 some people, 58 some people. That's a different story. Average 100 years. 1 year, 720 days and nights. 100 years, if a person has to live happily, healthily, peacefully, 100 full years, 72,000 days and nights. 72,000 days and nights if you have to live, every day 72,000 nadi system should be cleaned, processed, and you have to send the brush. For cleaning the teeth, there is a toothbrush. For cleaning the hair, there is a comb. For cleaning, processing the nervous system, which is the brush, Vishnu Sahasranama is the brush. Reason, if you chant the Vishnu Sahasranama, automatically, naturally, there is a built-in system of cleaning 72,000 nadis, and if you clean 72,000 nadis every day, there will be Nadi Shuddhi. In India, for last 10,000 years, there was no super specialty hospital. All the Vaidyas or the Pandits or the doctors, when the patient was going to them, they were just holding the pulse called Nadi and looking at the Nadi, they were deciding Nadi Shuddhi, Deha Shuddhi, Deha Shuddhi, Arogya Shuddhi, Arogya Shuddhi, Manas Shuddhi, Manas Shuddhi, Buddhi Shuddhi, Buddhi Shuddhi, Bhava Shuddhi, Bhava Shuddhi, Hrudya Shuddhi. That's the interlink. So, 72, they were just observing the Nadi. The Nadi is good, everything is okay. So nadi, cleansing of the nadi, cleaning of the nervous system, the communication system within the body, logistics within the body, the functioning within the body, the reflexes in the body, efficiency edge in the body, smartness in the body, sharpness in the body, and the ultimate functioning system of the body is cleaned, groomed, taken care by the Vishnu Sahasranama. That is one of the reason I go everywhere and I tell the student, particularly students and youngsters and children, learn Vishnu Sahasranama, chant Vishnu Sahasranama, recite Vishnu Sahasranama, see the benefits of that. It will be having direct impact. And another thing is, it was Bhishmacharya who for the first time projected it to Dharmaraja. Who is Bhishmacharya? Bhishmacharya is the son of Ganga. Bhishmacharya is the son of Ganga. Bhishma is called Gangeya because he is the son of Ganga. Then who is Ganga? Ganga is the daughter of Lord Vishnu. Ganga is the daughter of Lord Vishnu. When Lord Vishnu takes Vamana Avatara, when Vamana becomes Trivikrama, and Trivikrama's one particular foot goes from all the lokas, the Diloka, the Antariksha Loka, the sky, all the upper lokas, Janaloka, Mahaloka, Tapoloka, ultimately Satyaloka, and the entire compound of Satyaloka was touched by the feet of Lord Trivikrama, and the compound wall break opens and the water pours over there. Lord Brahma comes and takes that water and performs Pada Puja to the feet of the Lord Trivikrama, and that water flows down now to Mahaloka, Janaloka, Tapoloka, Devaloka. In Devaloka it is called Devaganga. It flows as a river. It is called Devaganga. Afterwards, when Bhagirath performs Tapasya and brings that Devaganga from Devaloka to Bhuloka to India, it becomes Ganga river. So Ganga is the daughter of Lord Trivikrama, who is none other than Lord Vishnu. Ganga is the daughter of Lord Vishnu. Bhishmacharya is the son of Ganga. So Bhishmacharya is the grandson of Lord Vishnu. And Bhishmacharya was the first time presenter of Vishnu Sahasranama to Dharmaraja. So whenever, in whichever house, by whichever student, whichever kid, whichever child is chanting, reciting Vishnu Sahasranama, immediately Lord Vishnu himself will be attracted by that, because it is the grandson of Vishnu, Lord Vishnu, Bhishma, who has presented that, and Vishnu is having a lot of affection, lot of love to his grandson than the daughter. Naturally, if any child, any kid, any student chants, recites Vishnu Sahasranama, Lord Vishnu immediately comes there, because he is chanting that particular stotra which is presented by my grandchild Bhishma. So he likes Bhishma and he likes Vishnu Sahasranama. He likes that kid and that child and the student who chants Vishnu Sahasranama. He comes not alone. He comes on Garuda and he comes and brings Lakshmi. He brings all the gods and goddesses and settles in the mind, in the thought of that kid, that student, that youngster and that child and that family. I am not telling this just to tell you. It is recorded and documented in a poetry called Harikathamrita Sara, written by Jagannath Dasaru 3 centuries ago. He says, Manavachana Katidura Nenavara Nanusarisi Tirgovanu, Jannavi Janaka, Janarolagiddu Janisuva Jagadudaratanu, Gana Mahima, Gange Yenuta Gayanava Keduta, Gaganachara Vahana, Diokasarodane, Cherisuvanu, Sancherisuvanu, Nelasuvanu, Manemanagalaldi. That means to say, the Lord, after listening somebody chanting Vishnu Sahasranama, immediately, it is my grandson Bhishma's Vishnu Sahasranama, these people are chanting, immediately asks Lakshmi to come, and both of them will be sitting on the Garuda, asks all the gods and goddesses to come, and they descend to the earth invisibly. They will be there in your house, they will be there within you, and they will be blessing you. They take care of your safety, they take care of your security, they take care of your future, and you will be having invisible protection, invisible blessing, and some type of extraordinary immunity circle will be there, and you are going to become great, you are going to become extraordinary, you are going to become extraordinary achiever, you are going to accomplish, you will be succeeding, you will be exceeding, and all that happens, that is the Vishnu Sahasranama Phala Phalashruti. Is it the ultimate dharma? Bhishma says, Eshame Sarva Dharmanam Dharmodikadamah. This is the dharma. For all the children, this is the dharma. Learn Vishnu Sahasranama, chant Vishnu Sahasranama. Now, we will be having some 3 minutes break. After 3 minutes break, I'm going to tell you another very important thing which is told by Krishna to Uddhava, his friend. He says, in the beginning I told, you have to learn from children. You have to learn from children. Like that he says, you have to learn from 24 gurus. Who are those 24 gurus? And what is it you have to learn from 24 gurus? We will just have that after 3-4 minutes break. Let me wish you best of luck. Everybody should learn Vishnu Sahasranama, chant Vishnu Sahasranama. God bless you. You will be having great future, great prosperity. Let me wish you best of luck. Thank you.
I request all the children to sit while Srinivas sir comes and announces. We'll take just about 2 minutes. Thanks, that's about. Please settle down.
Silence, please. I think now, as always, you can all go one by one, each class by class to your respective classes along with your teachers without making any noise. I kindly request you, all the children, not to make any noise. Class by class along with your respective teachers, kindly go to your respective classrooms. Thank you.